This is First Gen Xers.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of The Classroom. Oh, sorry. Classroom featuring, me today. Double KK Double. Unfortunately, my co-host had to bow out last minute. She had some issues to take care of, so wishing her all the best and speedy recovery. So I'm going to be here tonight. We're going to blaze through this running sheet. It's not going to take us long. We'll probably be looking at like 29, 30 minutes, depending on how busy the comment section is. Put this comment section up on the screen so that way I can see them as they're coming in. We opened up today with a little basketball talk because basketball has been the thing going on over the past over the past week. As free agency opened up, I believe, on Monday or Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And there was a lot that happened, but let's start with where we are right now, which is with the LeBron James sweepstakes. There's a total of 6 teams, supposedly, in Cleveland, Miami, Denver, Minnesota, Philly, who are all recruiting him. And also there's the opportunity that he may end up going to Golden State as well, which we'll get into a little bit later. But LeBron James is dominating headlines again. It says he'll play. It's not about money for the next one, so he's not worried about signing for the max or anything like that. Like all the Warriors have to offer him is a mid-level exemption, $15 million. So if he comes to play for the Warriors, it won't be for anything more than that. But a lot of teams, some teams could offer him more. There are other teams, like they're talking about potentially the Cavs could trade for Anthony Davis and try to lure LeBron back home to Cleveland. There was also talk about the Warriors trying to trade for Anthony Davis, but it's like, like I don't know. The Wizards said initially they had no desire to trade Anthony Davis, but then I hear that if they get put with a certain package that they may accept a trade for him, but who knows? He ended up leaving the Lakers, so he won't be going back there. So those 6 teams that we just mentioned, Cleveland, Miami, Denver, Minnesota, and Philly, along with Golden State, are the ones that have an opportunity to bring in LeBron. I will never refer to him as the king on this show. I will refer to him as LeBron only. And Rich Paul put out a video talking about how LeBron is supposedly looking for a championship roster and happiness over salary, and that he's going to take his time making the decision. But feels like the decision all over again. And for those of you who don't remember the decision, back in, I believe it was 2009, end of the 2009 season. Sorry, it's the end of the 2010 season. LeBron was available to become a free agent, did a whole spectacular on ESPN announcing that he was taking his talents to South Beach. It feels like that all over again. I really don't care where the man lands unless he's going to land in Golden State. Because the bottom line is, unless he goes to Miami, pretty much to Miami, or Philly, which it'll be, Jaylen Brown's a 2 guard, so we'll get to that later. But or Philly, I don't think he's even going to sniff, or Denver, sorry. If LeBron goes to Denver, LeBron, Jokic, and Jamal Murray could win a championship, for sure. But So Philly, Denver, Miami. I don't think they win the title if he goes to Cleveland, especially if they trade for AD. And I don't necessarily think Minnesota's right at the place, but a combination of LaMelo, Anthony Edwards, and LeBron would be quite interesting. With Julius Randle at the 4, I don't think they're beating Oklahoma City or San Antonio. See, that's my big thing with it, is that wherever he goes, I just don't know if they're beating a San Antonio or a San Antonio or an Oklahoma City with that particular with LeBron in the lineup. The man is 42 and really is going to be limited in the impact that he's going to have on any team that he comes to. Period. But again, getting a 20-point a game scorer with 8-9 rebounds and 5-6 assists, that's never something to sneeze at, especially for a mid-level exemption or for under $30 million a year. So, all right. So now let's move on to the next. There were some blockbuster trades that went down over the last few days. I think we already had talked about, me and O'Malley had already talked about Giannis heading to Miami, which is like, wow. Like, dude, like good Miami, but they gave up a lot to get him. I want to say they have Tyler Hero, Kelly Ware, Jaime Jaquez, and Caparas Jacononis or Josionis. Like, yeah, 4 players and multiple first-round draft picks, pick swaps, etc. Miami just dumped the whole thing in there, and they're slowly but surely re-signing their roster and filling out their roster. But in general, like, I'm wondering how in the world they plan on getting that job done out there. But if they bring in LeBron, that'll help stabilize it. Threesome, a front line of LeBron, Giannis, and Bam Adebayo. Think they can make some noise in the East. Again, don't know if they're winning a championship, but I think they can make some noise in the East. The other big trade that kind of blew everybody's mind was this one, and that's not the one that you think I'm going to say if you're from LA. It's Jaylen Brown to the 76ers. Like after the Celtics lost in the first round, Jaylen Brown had said this was his favorite season he had played. Nobody kind of knew what he meant. But it seemed to start a precipitous fall. It's kind of not as bad as the Brandon Ayuk situation, and that shit's getting crazy out there in San Francisco. But definitely like weird, like that Jaylen Brown would be responding like that when the Celtics just lost, and he is coming off, I believe, the year before he won Finals MVP with them in the championship, or 2 years prior. Sorry. I forget, Oklahoma City won it the year before, and then it was Boston the year before that. So yeah, he just came off 2 years removed from winning a title. But whatever he said, whatever his feelings were, the Brad Stevens and them were done. Like at first it was like Celtics are seeking four friggin' draft picks. 4 first-round draft picks for Jaylen Brown. And then it was like, yeah, they just shopping his ass because ain't nobody trying to give up 4 first-round draft picks. I don't know why. Well, Giannis is different than Jaylen Brown. But, yeah, so eventually he went for Paul George, and I think it was 2 first rounds and 2 second rounds, which I think is a fair price for Jaylen Brown. Like I said, he was a top 6 MVP voter in voting last year. He won Finals MVP. He's won a championship. Boys from Cal, shout out to Cal. But he rubbed somebody the wrong way, and they was ready to get rid of his ass. He was, once they made the decision they were trading him, he was not coming back. And they get a guy who's a similar player, but is like 6-7 years older in Paul George. Who's to say they even keep him? But we'll see how that goes. But they get Paul George back, and Boston gets some draft capital as well. And the 76ers, and here's what's the big slap in the face when it comes to the Jaylen Brown situation. Not only did they trade, it kind of reminds me. I saw this reference made on Sports Center a few days ago, in the morning or Get Up. It reminds me of when Washington, or not Washington, but Philly traded Donovan McNabb to the Washington Redskins because it was kind of mind-boggling why they would trade like a quarterback like that good into the division, within the same division. Like, you got to play them twice a year. Like, you got to play Philly 4 times a year. Like, really? Really? Like, that's where we at? Where they just like, we ain't even, you ain't even gonna have no impact over there with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. Like, they might have just made another trio monster over there in Philly. But alas, Jaylen Brown, you are now a Sixer, and as I saw from your Twitch stream, you're excited to go there. So I'm hoping that you do well and you make Philly the team that they could be, because this could be Maxey's team, this could be your team. It depends on what you come in and do, and if you take care of business. But we shall see. The other big trade, if you're from LA, is that the Clippers moved on from Kawhi Leonard and moved him along back to the Raptors, which is where he left when he first came to LA. So he goes back to a Toronto team that was okay, lad. That was pretty good last year. I can definitely see this kind of making them better, but not super better. But I think that Kawhi is definitely at an age where it will still be his show. And remember, Kawhi led them to the one championship to stop the Warriors from three-peating in 2017, 2018, and 2019. A series that I still say, had Durant been healthy, it would have been a different result. But it is what it is. The Raptors won the title. Kawhi played a hell of a series and earned yet another Finals MVP. You know, what's funny is that people praise LeBron for playing for 3 different franchises and winning them championships. Kawhi's only one behind him. You know, he won a championship with and was a Finals MVP with San Antonio, and he won a championship and was a Finals MVP with Toronto. He just couldn't, and can't nobody do it in LA. Clippers have some kind of curse on them. Like, it's just difficult for them to make the playoffs, let alone actually win a title. But in general, I'm all for the Clippers moving on from Kawhi and Kawhi going to the East. It's adding more powerhouses to the East, which is what we need right now. Because, like I said, there's got to be somebody to knock off San Antonio, who's going to come back next year even better, and Oklahoma City, who's going to come back next year even better. So let's see. Let's see, what else do we have? We also had a trade of Ja Morant to the Trailblazers, who now would have a gluttony of guards, but I believe they still have Anthony Simmons. I believe that they have Scoot Henderson, and they also have who else is it? Damian Lillard coming back off an injury, and now they have Ja Morant. Even though they're probably going to have a starting backcourt of Morant and Lillard, with either Scoot Henderson or damn, I forget the name of the other guy. I said Simmons, but I'm not sure that's it. Playing the 3. They're going to go with a 3-guard set and see how it works. Or they got plans they already got plans maybe to move one of these guys. So, but who knows? The Portland's doing some weird things. So, and the other big name to move was LaMelo Ball, who's now a Timberwolf, and paired up. I talked about that a little bit earlier, and paired up with Anthony Edwards. It's a possible destination. And Rudy Gobert is a possible destination for LeBron there. I believe Julius Randle is still T-Wolf as well. So they're going to reload, and they're going to hope to compete against big teams like Oklahoma City. And what you call it, that's why the Warriors did what they did. We'll get to their free agency right after the break. But let's jump into the next part, and the final part, which is key contract agreements and signings. You got Austin Reeves going back to the Lakers on a 4-year, $185 million deal. Get your money, son. Get your money. I can't hate on you. That's over what, 40 million a year. So get your money on. I cannot turn you down and say no because anybody would sign that kind of a contract. Trey Young on his way back to the Atlanta Hawks after declining his player option for 4 years, 212 million. I said that's about 50 million a year. Walker Kessler got traded from the Jazz to the Lakers and immediately signed a 4-year, $130 million. So they put in that cap space left by LeBron leaving because they had a $50 million cap hold with LeBron. They put that money to work. Tari Eason, power forward, signed back with the Houston Rockets for 5 years, $81 million. Not bad. Not bad. Ayo Dosunmu, the point guard, signed with the Chicago Bulls for 5 years, $112 million. See all this money just being thrown around to anybody and everybody that want it. God, I wish I knew how to play basketball. God, I genuinely do. Quentin Grimes is headed to the Los Angeles Lakers for 4 years, $60 million. I believe that's about $15 million a year. Nemias Queta is going to the center is going to the Boston Celtics at $56 million. I'm just gonna call the dude Mamu. Sandro Mamu is going to the Lakers at 4 years, $52 million. Mitchell Robinson is leaving the New York Knicks a champion and going to the Boston Celtics to try to help them win one for 3 years, $47 million. Robert Williams III is headed to the Portland Trailblazers, so I guess they ain't completely guard heavy. Going for 3 years, $44 million. And then Dean Wade is leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers and heading over to the 76ers to go play with Jaylen Brown and them for 4 years, $39 million. Oh, no, Anthony Simons, who was with Portland. Okay, so he's gone, so they don't have that guard. He's gone to the 76ers for 2 years, $12 million. And then Kobe White re-signs with the Bulls or is headed back to the Bulls. I could have swore he played with them before. For 3 years, $74 million. Following the acquisition of Walker Kessler, the Lakers traded center DeAndre Ayton to the Wizards in exchange for Jaden Hardy and two future firsts. So DeAndre Ayton is now heading over to Washington, which I believe opens the door for them to move Anthony Davis in the hopes of somebody getting him to lure LeBron to come play for them. Let's see. So the top remaining free agents on the market is young center Jalen Duran from the Detroit Pistons. He's a restricted free agent, most likely headed back to Detroit. LeBron James, who's unrestricted. James Harden, who declined his option to facilitate the Cavs, move some stuff around, and he might come back. So maybe him and LeBron in Cleveland. Peyton Watson is available as a restricted free agent from the Denver Nuggets. Draymond is an unrestricted free agent, declined his player option, but the thought is he's going to re-sign if LeBron comes, or even if not, but he's going to re-sign after LeBron has made his decision, just in case LeBron wants to come to the Warriors. He doesn't want to mess up that money. Rui Hachimura is an unrestricted free agent, and I'll talk about a little bit later about how he's potentially linked to the Warriors. And then Jonathan Kuminga is an unrestricted free agent. Is the Hawks declined his player option. And then Benedict Mathurin is a restricted free agent with the Clippers. So we'll see how that turns out as we move down free agency road. Remember, it's going on for the next few weeks. I believe it's like 4 or 5 weeks, 12 days or so, where people can do it. So let's see. All right, so we're going to take this break, and I will be right back right here on the First GenXers Broadcast Network on First GenXers Presents on Twitch, Double KK Double Network on YouTube, or the First GenXers YouTube channel as well. So you guys stay up, stay real, and I'll be back in 5 to talk Warriors free agency. And yeah, peace.
We back at it. Yep, we still doing it.
Poetic beat.
First GenXers. Gia. Let's get it, y'all. Come on. We back in the building. It's been a long time cooking in the soup kitchen. And I'm chilling with the same. Dropping these beats, won't stop, nope, I can't. Let me get up in the lab, turn it up. Game on with the first GenXers. What's up? Let's flip on the switch or the Xbox and
Get up in my zone, I'm clowning.
let me clear my throat for a minute. Shout out to my folks while I'm in it. It ain't nothing but love, it's babe business. I really don't know what's so who ain't feeling this. And this is only the beginning. Now versus then, this is something for the chillin'. Poetic got the joints like McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's the first gen. We're now rocking with Poetic Beats. This is the first GenXers production. Get your PlayStations out. Get your Xbox out. Get your Switch out. Let's get it in, y'all. Holla back.
Got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I've been real with this. Please don't judge me. I'ma stay on my shit. I'ma keep a grind mode.
Adam's family like dynamic between Pugsley and Wednesday. Like,
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
Well, I always temper this because I think
I did not like the perceived with caution tagline.
I've also seen what Chase Center looks like when the Valkyries are fucking playing, so fuck all of you. Because Chase Center is packed no matter what's going on.
all right, and I'm back. So, what were we talking about there? Let's see. We were on to the Warriors free agency specifically after talking about NBA free agency in general. We only got a couple of quick points to hit here. No, this is wrong. No, this is wrong. Let's look at this. This is not the one. Oh, no wonder. There we go. I didn't go down far enough. Here we go. So the Golden State Warriors have made themselves some moves trying to solidify themselves into a position to be able to bring in LeBron James or into a position where they can at least be competitive next year once they get back all their pieces. They did this by securing a couple of key pieces that were great rotation players and players in general for them last year. They locked up Kristaps Porzingis back, who averaged like 16, 6, and 6 as a 7'3" big man, to on a 2-year, $40 million contract extension. So he signed that at the beginning of the free agency period. Al Horford declined his player option for his second year and signed a fresh 2-year, $14 million deal to who's going to be 40 years old, by the way, this year. Go ahead, boy. To bolster the Warriors front court. And then I thought everybody thought that they were about to lose DeAnthony Melton when he opted out of his player option, but they ended up bringing him back on a 2-year, $11.5 million deal. And so I'm like, that's pretty awesome. And then there's 2 other people that I saw that they're going to be bringing back that I hadn't heard about, which was Gary Payton has agreed to a verbal commitment to return to the rotation. I'm happy about that, and don't forget that they still got Posminskis. They're still getting Moses Moody back next year, and they get at some point late next year, and then Jimmy Butler as well. And Guy Santos is locked into a market-beating 3-year, $15 million extension. I believe they signed him to that earlier. So it's one of those type of things where the Warriors brought back Mike Dunleavy. I have to give you credit. Like I was worried about you. You have them in position to potentially bring in LeBron James, and you kept most of your pieces, including Jimmy Butler. Didn't have to trade him away or anything like that. And yeah, they're sitting kind of pretty. Let's get to the other part of this, which is the Draymond Green and LeBron James situation, which is that Draymond Green officially opted out of his player option, which was $27.7 million. It is expected that he's expected to return to Golden State, but it's a strategic way to be able to get some cap flexibility to be able to offer LeBron James the $15 million mid-level exemption, because they can go over the salary tax or salary apron, the tax apron, luxury tax apron. For Draymond Green, they can't go over it for a free agent. So that's why the max that they can offer LeBron is the $15 million they already have set aside for the mid-level exemption. But if they do that, then the $27 million that they bring in won't hit them as hard because it's Draymond re-signing the contract. But we shall see how that goes, because it's going to be an interesting postseason or off-season, especially if LeBron James does choose to come to the Golden State Warriors. Him, Draymond, Jimmy Butler, Steph, Kristaps, all on the same squad with Pods, Moody, this kid Lendenborg, the rookie, that had a great first showing at the Summer League Classic out here in California, and so yeah. Like they've got some good players. They did lose Pat Spencer, I believe, not to the Timberwolves, but somebody else in the Western Conference, or Phoenix Suns. They lost Pat Spencer to the Phoenix Suns. And that kind of hurt, because I thought he was somebody that off the bench gave them a good motor going, and yeah, they're gonna need to replace that. Let's see. The Warriors, as far as who they're still going after outside of LeBron James, there's talk of them that there's mutual interest to bring back Seth Curry, who due to Steph's injury didn't really get to have the type of run with his brother that I know both of them wanted when he came to Golden State. So, and this isn't the first time he's played for Golden State. I want to say this was the second time he's played, but there's supposedly mutual interest in bringing him back for this upcoming season. So hopefully they'll do that. And there's also talk of them talking to Rui Hachimura. Reports indicated that the Warriors have been actively in contact with the unrestricted free agent forwards representation as they attempt to maximize their $9 million taxpayer mid-level exemption. So we'll see. We'll see if they could bring in Rui and LeBron. Again, let me set this straight. As y'all know, the history, we end every show with LeBron. I would not be happy if LeBron came to the Warriors. Y'all like, you crazy, dude. You must not know basketball, because he gonna do well. He gonna do well. No. The reason why I won't be happy is because with LeBron comes his fan base. They're going to be wearing whatever jerseys that he's wearing that year. And if he's wearing a Warriors jersey, then that means they're going to be wearing Warriors jerseys. I'm not happy about the idea of that. The actual like logistics and dynamics of LeBron actually being a player for the Warriors, I'm all for. Like I think he definitely brings enough that they would have enough firepower and enough ability in rotation to be able to give everybody rest on a regular basis if he came to the team, especially him and Rui. They would have enough pieces to be. Steve Kerr would have enough pieces to tinker with that he could create some lineups that would make sure everybody gets their rest. It's just the fans. It's just the LeBron fans. Like I understand what Lakers fans feel like when they're like, oh my God, like LeBron fans. So anyway, if he becomes a Warrior, he becomes a Warrior. Like I said, there's some interesting lineups there with the Anthony Melton, Al Horford, Kristaps Porzingis, LeBron James, and like I said, if they bring in Rui Hachimura and Draymond Green and add Draymond Green and Steph to that, and then that Luxembourg kid, and you got Brandon Podminski, you got Moses Moody, and Quentin Post. That's going to be a dangerous Warrior squad, even though I believe Quentin Post could potentially be signing with another squad. They haven't officially brought him back yet. But that's the Warriors recap. And for this week, we'll probably give you more when we know more, as always. But let's get to, before we jump to the FIFA, let's take a quick break in the tennis world, as I am completely saddened to say that unfortunately Miss Serena Williams did not win her Wimbledon matchup. I was hoping that she would win at least one or two rounds and make it interesting, like allow us to get excited for her being back on the court again. And unfortunately, in that singles matchup, she messed up her knee and had to bow out of her doubles matchup with her sister at Wimbledon, and it just sucks. But the good news is that her agent was shown to be said that this is not the last time we will see Serena on a tennis court. So maybe she's making a small comeback. Maybe she'll be one of those type of people that comes in as a wild card in all the majors, because she should have enough stroke and enough pull within the tennis world to do that. Or maybe she comes back and she plays 2 or 3 tournaments in between the majors. Who knows? But also along with that, we had Nathan's hot dog eating contest yesterday, and as usual, Joey Chestnut win another victory amidst a sudden jump in the final verified hot dog totals. Wow. Well, I don't really care who wins. I just know Joey Chestnut. I stay, bro. If you can live a healthy life doing that once a year, go for it. I doubt that man eats hot dogs any other time of year. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I don't think Joey Chestnut eats hot dogs any other time than on the 4th of July, because the way he gobbles them things down, he can't have a taste for it otherwise. Or he eats hot dogs all the time. That would be the only other extreme. He eats hot dogs all the damn time. So, all right. So, final story goes to the World Cup. As first and foremost, wow, let me just say this. Brazil lost today, and that shit blew my mind. Like, Brazil lost to Norway, who's advancing to the round of, I believe, 8 for the first time ever, I believe. And Brazil, Neymar retired after the match, but this is the first time I've ever seen Brazil get knocked out this early. Like, normally they're at least in the quarters, but not this year. Men's national team is into the round of 16. I forget who they play this week. Belgium. So they beat Bosnia-Herzegovina 2-0, in which was a hell of a match. And let's see, Florent Balogun, who was suspended for last game, I believe, is going to be back for the next game after FIFA reversed reversed his suspension. And I don't know. I think the 1-game suspension for what happened, like, he didn't What he did, I don't believe he did on purpose. The whole thing that got him the red card, that got him suspended in the first place, I don't think he did it on purpose. I think it was an accidental thing, and it happened, and there wasn't any serious injury to the player, at least I know of, to the player who it happened to. So make him sit out a game, call it a day, and everybody, goes on with their lives. And that's where we're at right now. So he's going to come back to play against Belgium. There's a big uprising right now within the soccer community about how it's a shame that they allowed him to do that. And yeah, I don't know. I just hope here's the thing about it. If O'Malley was here, she would say, "Go Mexico, go." It ain't about me being pro-American or her being anti-American. I understand her point of view and why she finds it hard to root for the U.S. men's national team right now. But I'm, like I said last week, I'm about history. And I have never seen the U.S. win a World Cup outside of the women's team back in 80 or 90 something, or the early 2000s. I've never seen a U.S. national team win a World Cup in my lifetime, and I would love to see it. And this year seems to be the year where it could happen because teams are dropping left and right. The top teams are dropping left and right. So I'm really, 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 really hoping that the U.S. can show out this year and give us something to smile about and be happy about, because so far they have. I believe they've only lost one game, and that was the game to Turkey that they lost 3-2. That they could have won, but they did not. So go USA. I hope y'all do your thing. Let me hip y'all real quick before we get out of here to where I'm going to be in the coming days. So I will be here on YouTube and Twitch, the Double KK Double Network YouTube and Twitch on Tuesday for my final streaming of College Football 26, as I've already pre-ordered 27, and we'll be opening it up this week or next weekend, and then debuting it on the following Tuesday, not this upcoming Tuesday, but the one after that. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. We got MVT Fusion may be coming up later on tonight, but definitely for sure at midnight we have the night shift tonight with Dave playing some RuneScribe, playing some Starfield, and we'll be back next week with broadcast Sundays as well with Cheap Pop at 2 next Sunday and the classroom at 6. Hopefully we'll have O'Malley back and we can talk some good sports then. And other than that, y'all stay up. Y'all stay real and be kind to each other, because trust me, this world is hard enough without treating each other like poo-boo. And I am Dark Lord 100. This has been the classroom featuring me, and we are out. Peace.